You want us to contact for me, so for me, so.
Hi everyone, how are you doing? I hope that you all are doing fine and I hope you're okay today. So, today we will continue our chapter on the phrases and classes. First, you would have to log in using aplusstudent.com. Then, you click on your name, move on to language at the grade 8. So, we had the first three lessons the other day and we will finish up the remaining two. We have identify appositives and appositive phrases, combine sentence using relative clauses. Okay, so we'll start now. All right, so an appositive is a noun that usually follows and renames or describes another noun or noun phrase. So it usually follows and renames or describe another noun or noun phrase. My roommate Amanda works for a non-profit organization. An appositive phrase consists of an appositive and its modifiers. The Golden Gate Bridge, the bridge connecting San Francisco and Marin County, first opened in 1937. Now, if the appositive is not necessary for narrowing down who or what is being described, it is set off with commas. If the appositive is necessary for narrowing down who is being described, it is not set off with commas. So we have Marco's younger sister Rita plays the saxophone. The appositive is not necessary for narrowing down the identity of Marco's younger sister. The author J.K. Rowling was born in Leeds, England. The appositive is necessary for narrowing down the identity of the author born in Leeds, England. Now, an appositive phrase is a noun phrase. Clauses, verb phrases, adjective phrase, and adverb phrases are not appositive. Okay, my roommate, whose name is Amanda, works for a non-profit organization. The text in bold is a relative clause, not an appositive. Now, Rotary International, founded in 1905, now boasts over 1 million members. Okay, so now boasts over 1 million members. The text is in bold is an adjective phrase and not an appositive. All right, so you need to take note of the appositive and the appositive phrases. All right, let's look at some of the examples. We have the first, which is select the positive or a positive phrase. In the winter, surfers from around the world try their luck at Mavericks, a destination surfing spot in Northern California. Okay, so the appositive phrase is a destination surfing spot in Northern California. It renames or describes the noun Mavericks. So a destination surfing spot in Northern California is the answer here. So in Iran, families celebrate Yalda, a Persian festival to mark the winter solstice by sharing pomegranates, nuts, and other special food. So, what is the right one here? We have Patient Festival to mark the winter. Okay, so we'll move on to the test, and you can share your answers with me if you know them. Alright, so select the positive or appositive phrase. Approximately 10 to 15% of adults suffer from insomnia, a disorder that causes sleeplessness. So, which is the appositive phrase or appositive here? So a disorder that causes sleeplessness is the appositive here. All right. So we have cricket, a game somewhat similar to baseball, is popular in England and many former colonies of Britain. So which of these is the positive or appositive phrase? So a game somewhat similar to baseball is the positive there. In the time of the Roman Republic, only male Roman citizens were allowed to wear the toga, a long cloth wrapped around the body. So a long cloth wrapped around the body, one male Roman citizens were allowed, only male Roman citizens were allowed. So what's the positive or positive phrase here? All right, so we have a long cloth wrapped around the body. Okay. So in the winter, surfers from around the world try their luck at Mavericks, a destination surfing spot in Northern California. So what is the right answer here? Okay. So, destination surfing sport in Northern California. So, on November 9, 1989, East Germany opened the Berlin Wall, one of the most real-life symbols of the Cold War. So, which of this is the positive or positive phrase? One of the most relived symbols of the Cold War or Berlin Wall. All right, so we have one of the most relief symbols of the Cold War. In Iran, families celebrate Yalda, a patient festival to mark the winter solstice, by sharing pomegranate, nuts, and other special food. So, what is the appositive here? Okay, so we have the second. Okay. All right, so Ed's sister Bella loves to shop for vintage dresses at thrift stores and consignment shops and often finds incredible bargains. So, what's the positive or appositive phrase here? So, if you click on thrift shop, it is wrong, but Bella is the correct one. So, you have to make sure you take note of that. Okay. So that's it for our lesson other identify positive and appositive phrases. If you haven't done this before, you have to make sure you complete it. We'll move on to the last lesson, which is combined sentence using relative clauses. All right. All right. So we will start this one now. All right, so we have relative clause. A relative clause is a dependent clause that functions as an adjective. It provides information about the noun or pronoun it follows. A relative clause usually begins with a relative pronoun who, whom, whose, which, or that. So it begins with any of this. So the woman who lives next door grows tomatoes in her garden. So who? The relative clause provides information about the noun woman. You can use a relative clause to combine sentences. Look at these two sentences. I just read Janet's new book. Her book came out last month. Now, both sentences provide information about Janet's new book. So you can combine the sentence using a relative clause. You can say, I just read Janet's new book, which came out last month. So the relative clause provides information about the noun book. So the relative clauses are very important because you can join sentences with them. You can combine sentences that we have together with the relative clause. Okay? So let's look at some examples. Researchers in Spain analyze changes in pop music over time. They identify difference in timbre, pitch, and loudness. Now combine the sentence by completing the relative clause. So you have to use a relative clause to complete the sentence. So we have analyzed the change in pop music. So we have James Garfield was shot and killed just 4 months after taking office. He served one of the shortest term as the US president. So you have to combine the sentence. So, who served one of the shortest time US president? Okay, so we'll move on to the test. And you can share your answers with me if you know it. Alright, so you have to read the sentence and then complete. Rick recommends this seafood restaurant has an incredible dish of lobster, clams, shrimp, and mussels served in buttery broth. Now combine the sentence by completing the relative clause. The seafood restaurant that dash has an incredible dish of lobsters, clams, shrimp, and mussels served in a buttery broth. So what's the right answer here? All right, so we have that's Rick recommends. Okay, so read the sentence. Charles Lindbergh became famous after his non-stop solo flight from New York to Paris in 1927. He had previously worked as an airmail pilot. Now combine the sentences by completing the relative clause. So what would be the right one here? Okay, so we have who had previously worked as an airmail pilot. Okay, so we have James Garfield was shot and killed just 4 months after taking office. He served one of the shortest term as U.S. president. So now combine the sentence by completing the relative clause. Which of this is the right answer here? So who served one of the shortest terms as U.S. president? Okay, so we have the next. Fluoride protects your teeth enamel from cavities. Fluoride is an element found in the Earth's crust. So you have to combine the sentence by completing the relative clause. Which of this is the right one here? Okay, so which is an element found in the Earth's crust? So the star HD 162826 has been called a solar sibling to our sun. HD 162826 was likely born in the same gas cloud. So you have to combine the sentence by completing the relative clause. What will be the right answer here? All right, that has been called a solar sibling. Okay. So we have the next one. Researchers in Spain analyzed changes in pop music over time. They identified differences in timbre, pitch, and loudness. Now combine the sentence by completing the relative clause. What is the right answer here? All right, so we have this one. Okay, so that's it for lesson under the phrases and clauses. Can you tell me on the chat if you have any questions? All right, so since we have no questions, we will end here for today. You can finish up this lesson later on when you're free. Have a good night and see you next time. Bye, everyone.